Hello, everyone, and welcome to a class review with me, John Parker, and
Me, Jack Erling. Now, we are literally halfway through the series. We haven't had the opportunity to review episodes 1 to 3 for reasons that we'll talk about later on before we end this video. But from here on now, we will be reviewing the rest of class, the other 4 episodes. So let's go from there then. So, first of all, I think it's better off that we do this before we actually go into the episode review itself. So far, the series itself hasn't been too bad. Beginning with the first 2 episodes, it was a bit kind of like, okay, this is a bit strange what's
yeah,
going on here. I think the appearance of the Doctor, for example, was a bit kind of a good boost.
yeah, it did. It spiced that first episode up, didn't it?
Yeah,
Because it started off quite, mm,
yeah.
I'd say, boring, probably.
Well, I wouldn't say boring. I'd say intriguing. It's kind of like the thing where you're not quite you can't make your mind up until you've not just seen one but more. And I think seeing the Doctor appear in the first episode kind of made, I wouldn't say everyone, but it definitely made me, continue to watch the other episodes because the Doctor's now left them to defend the Earth against whoever comes through these stairs in space and time. So he obviously trusts them. Therefore, we've got a whole bunch of people to look at and see how they develop through the series. So that was my overall feeling of the beginning of it all. Little little slow, but at the same time interesting, eye catching. It makes you want to continue on. So I thought that was pretty good. So episode 4, which was named Co-Owner of a Lonely Heart, really, really definitely started to... well, being as now we're in the middle of the series now, this episode in particular was very interesting.
Mm.
And not only that, but was incredibly exciting to watch as well, from start all the
Yeah,
way to finish.
it was very interesting. I mean, of course, there was a few cringy moments because I always find it when I see those like love scenes, like I'm always like, ooh, because I'm always like, that's the kind of cringe that I do.
Well, I'll
I
get
also
on...
find it kind of funny because of the fact that it was linked to um the Shadow King as well.
Yeah, the feelings and emotions that was
Yeah.
transpired through. Well, I'll move on to that in a moment. Um, But the basic idea of the plot was that basically April's heart condition, so to speak, has literally worsened. Her connection with the King of the Shadow King has literally increased, especially when he got that
The
anchor,
anchor.
the
Yeah.
anchor in place. And that literally kicks things off. I mean, now their connection is even stronger than before, and the Shadow King, King's King, King's temperament and anger towards other people, so to speak, is now being shown through April herself.
Mhm.
But not only that, I think it's going both ways, and I'll get into that in a moment. But besides that, that was the kind of idea of the plot there in episode. There was a bit of a backstory to this episode, which I believe we're going to see later on in the series. Now, as we all know, the recent head teacher has been killed off, and a new one has arisen. Or have arrived, sorry. And a very strange one at that, because her connection is with this strange organisation who like to use robots for inspection purposes for some unknown reason,
The governors.
the governors. And not only that, but we've also got biting, blood-sucking
Flowers.
petals.
Petals.
Well,
I think
yeah,
that's a really interesting idea.
very, but of course we won't know details of that story until probably later on in the series, and obviously, and of course, the new head mistress has also given um, Miss Quill, sorry, I almost forgot her name then, the means to remove the implant or the creature from her brain. So that's going to cause some interesting friction between her and the rest of the gang. Okay, so in regards to the characters, the main people or beings, as I will say, who kind of stole the episode away, were mainly between Ram, April, and the King of the Shadowkin.
Yeah.
Mainly because obviously this episode is to do with April's heart connection with the Shadow King getting worse. It appears that between the two characters, their emotions, their feelings, their temperament, and their love,
is all interlinked.
is going literally back and
Two-way
forth.
connection.
So the love and affection that was coming from Ram and April's moment during the episode was being transpired through to the Shadow King.
Yes.
Now, this is where things could potentially get interesting later on down the series. If, as we saw in the beginning of the episode, April is starting to feel or become like the Shadow King, so basically absorbing his anger and...
Not only that, but by the looks of it, she even had part of his powers. His abilities, I should say, not powers, abilities. I mean, the fact that she had those swords that she can conjure up at any time, and what was it? She put her hand through her mother's heart or something, and all of a sudden you could see that she could move her legs at one point.
Yeah, but that was a good intention. I'm talking about evil intent.
Yeah, but I know. I was just saying that they're interlinked so far as to say that she's even getting some of his abilities.
Yep. Originally, I did not have no idea where she was getting the swords from, and I was going to class that as a writing issue. But then I remembered that he managed to conjure up the swords from like a trail of smoke from his hands, the Shadowkins. So that was perfectly fine. But yeah, we're now seeing the anger and temperament from the Shadowkin into April, and part of April's love and affection going into the Shadowkin, and I'm thinking that towards the end of the series, the way that they might be able to defeat the King of the Shadowkin is by
through their
manipulating him.
Yeah.
Through emotion.
Through their love.
Yeah. So basically a manipulation through emotion. So that's my kind of theories to how those two characters or that character will be defeated in the end.
Because that's very cliche, isn't it? I mean, using love as the way, to effectively win over an evil entity. You see it throughout films and TV shows all the time. This idea of love overruling all. You'd think that eventually they'd come up with an original idea.
Also, one other person that we will talk about, actually no, there's two people, but the Prince. He's now starting to show a very
darker side?
Darker side, yes, to himself, like most that you'd see in many monarchs, from hundreds of years ago, ruling and determined to do anything for their people. Now, of course, as we now know, the only way that the cabinet of all the souls inside the cabinet can be released and restored is by them literally taking over bodies. So the what are they? Rodians?
Rodians, yeah.
Yeah. They're literally basically parasitical in nature then.
I suppose in their current form they are.
Because that is the basic interpretation of them. And you think of that and you think, blimey, would he actually release them onto the population of Earth? Yes or no? Or use them to actually kill another species, in this case, the Shadowkins.
Wasn't it that they had the ability to possess the entities, but unfortunately that would also kill the souls of the original?
Well, yeah, that's basically
or what was
being
it, to
parasitical.
destroy them through... What was the other method? Because he said there was two ways. They could either completely just destroy the...
I think it was like a
planet,
terraform, in a way, wasn't it, that they was talking about, or something like that? I don't know.
I don't know. I can't
literally annihilate entire species from the planet and allow their civilization to grow over hundreds of years. That's what I got from that second method. But either way, one way or another, they are dangerous and therefore threatening to Earth. I don't think that would ever happen, mainly because if that ever did happen, I'm pretty sure the Doctor would step in and get involved.
But I've got a funny feeling that the finale might actually have a link, at least, to that cabinet and what's going to go on. Whether or not he'll get close to even releasing the entities, or...
Time will tell. Now, one other person I want to talk about very quickly is Miss Quill.
My favourite character, actually, in this show.
Yeah, why doesn't that surprise me? Now, as we've known, she's been the prince's protector, and basically companion, but also slave, basically. I suppose you can put it that way.
She's also very clever.
Yeah, very. And this episode in particular has literally been a kind of eye-opener for her, because it might mean that she will now no longer be a slave to the prince. And why I consider that being noteworthy in this review is because I'm thinking how she's going to, or what she's going to become towards the end. I think, and this is my own personal opinion, that even if the creature gets removed, I believe that she may still work with everybody, be part of their team.
Although she did indicate when the governor gave her the chance to remove that, because doesn't she have that kind of, I want to use the term warrior kind of attitude. So what if she turns against everybody, or at least to start with, turn against everybody when it's removed from her?
It's possible, but I'm thinking after a while she might come to a different sense and
turn around. Yeah.
But that's for a later date. Now, the writing, I will say, so far has been amazing. It's literally been like a Sarah Jane Adventures and Torchwood mixed together. Originally, when this was put forward, I did not like the idea, admittedly. Mm-hmm. But going through, and especially to this episode, I really do love. And I can't wait to see how it's going to end in a couple of weeks.
And video editing style as well, in terms of, like, for example, the title sequence. The title sequence was created by the same company that did the Misfits title sequence. And one of the many things that many people kept saying, particularly me and Jack, and I think a few other people that I know, all agreed to start with, on the first episode, it didn't seem right. I mean, having that music go with that title sequence just didn't match. Personally, it's growing on me. I actually am starting to like the title sequence music with the current title sequence. It's very reminiscent of the season 7 part 2 of Doctor Who title sequence. I say reminiscent; it's not the exact same, but it uses similar styles to it.
You mean the After Effects transitions?
Yes, that kind of thing. With the faces or the images coming towards you with the colours and the explosion effects, and at the end with all the individual particles coming towards the camera. That was all from season 7, part 2 of Doctor Who, or at least very similar to. But I personally think that the end credit music would have suited the title sequence better, and using the current title sequence music as a introductory music on the first episode, perhaps, or even throughout the series. But that's just my personal opinions on how that should technically have worked. But I'm getting used to it. I like it. It's getting better. I do actually like that music. So. Good.
So, my overall feelings of this episode was very interesting, intriguing, very eye-opening as well. And not only that, but it's definitely making me want more. Because I think this episode mainly was kind of like a doorway into now more of a darker state of the series. Because originally they was dealing with a few personal issues of themselves, each of the individuals in the gang, obviously since episode 1. But now that, like, once Ram followed April for the cracking time to go and defeat the Shadow King, that's now opened a door to what could be a dark side of the rest of the series. So not much can be said now, but the way I felt from that was that we're going to see a lot of interesting things later on down the line. So that's my overall feeling of what this episode gave me. You?
Well, I personally am enjoying Class so far. There are a few times where I've gone a little bit, the story feels a little tiny bit slow, but all the way, always at the end of the episode, it'll always start picking up again. So I'm always a little bit of an up and down with it.
I think a good series overview will be good.
Yeah. I will say one thing about Mrs. Quill, which I said was my favourite character. And the reason I said that is because, as I said, she was clever, but also the fact that they used her as I want to say a little bit like a reminiscent of Sherlock. Because I don't know whether, I can't remember whether it was episode 2, episode 3. Whenever the episode that had the robot in it, she was seen doing a Sherlock kind of thing at the start. Do you remember that, Jack? Where she did the analysis of what he was wearing and what that meant.
Mm-hmm.
Because she'd been staring at him in the class, and she told the prince about all the different things she spotted and what he was like, and I thought that was really cool. So I am enjoying the little things that they're putting into the series. Sometimes it feels like it's going a bit too slow. Other times it feels like it's very where are we going? But most of the time I am enjoying this series quite a bit, and I'm excited to see where they take it, because it's something new and exciting. So yeah, overall I'm enjoying it.
So my verdict for this episode, out of 10, I'll give it a 9.
For episode 4, I'm going to say yeah, I'll give it about an 8.5 or a 9 as well.
Right, yeah, brilliant. So folks, that is the end of our review for episode 4 of Class. Now, one quick thing to say before we leave. Obviously, as you've probably realised, videos on the channel have been quite low recently. Mainly because, obviously, John in particular has been taking the time to obviously focus more on university and all the work's been coming in. That probably mainly it, because of course that kind of thing just does always take priority, as it should for anyone. So like today, for example, you watching this video, you'll have 2 reviews, because we're going to obviously review episode 5, and don't worry, what we will do, even if we don't do 1 to 3 of Class, we will be doing a series of review anyway. So
which is why I was talking
we'll have
about episodes in this video.
Yes, because we need to kind of give a kickstart to that anyway, so we could continue on later in the line. So that's it for this video. Thank you folks for watching, thank you folks for sticking around, and we'll see you in the next video. So until then, remember,
let your geeks ride out, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!
Bye-bye. That is all we have for today, folks.
Join us again next week on another Sci-Fi Geeks video to find out what adventure we embark on next.
Thank you for watching. Feel free to like and comment on the video below. Remember to subscribe so you can keep up to date with our latest videos.
Till next time,
take care, stay safe, and remember,
let your geeky side out.
Toodle pip.
Toodle pip.